Amazing. It's amazing. What's going on, guys? This is the conservative speaking. Glad to see you guys here. Oh, about that. Let me adjust this thing real quick. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we're not doing that yet. All right. Hey guys, what's going on? This is the conservative speaking. Happy Monday. I'm happy to to be here Monday to give you guys the show. And I hope that your day, I hope that your Monday went well. So sorry about being late. Had a little technical difficulty. I promise you, by, it wasn't on purpose. Unlike the blacks, uh, I, I function. I try to, I try to be as tardy as I can. I want to function on the show's time and not on color people time. Amazing. So, what's going on? Um, I have to take a step back. Let me see. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. All right. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that this is working. So, for those of you that are not familiar with me, I am the conservative, um, and I hold a live stream broadcasted show once a week, speaking about um, culture, politics, and and America. But uh, mainly I speak on political events, the political climate of the country, along with the very things that impact the culture of this very country. And one of the things that is impacted, or one of the things that has impacted the culture of this very country are um, a specific group who, or specific groups that do not necessarily fit in the mold of American culture. Um, these people, uh, these people who this specific term has been reserved for them are usually the exiles, um, the people that are unsophisticated, people that are uneducated and crass, and people that just again that are considered more of an outcast than the model citizens of society. All right. In case if you don't know the people that I'm speaking of, these are the very people that I mentioned uh, at the title of the broadcast, which are rednecks. Now, what is a redneck? A redneck is, and quote, um, a derogatory term chiefly, but not exclusively, applied to white Americans, meaning that this is a term that's mainly reserved for white people. Perceived to be crass, unsophisticated, closely associated with the rural whites of the southern United States. And these are the very people, and once again, they lack sensitivity, refinement, and intelligence. rednecks, a derogatory term basically meant for white folks who don't necessarily fit the mold of modern society in America. And people tend to associate rednecks with low class, poor whites. They are known, they are stereotyped as poor, dirty, unkept, um, depending on what region these whites are from. If they're from the Appalachians, they're considered hillbillies. If they're from the South, they are rednecks. If these people come from the North, these people are considered white trash. These are the people that are impoverished, and again, they don't fit the working class or the upper class of society. And the term redneck has usually been associated with white folks. But what if I were to tell you that black folks also could be rednecks as well? Um, Mainly because of not just the culture. Well, obviously, it's the culture and it's the language that is spoken among the culture. Now, these white folks that have been reserved the term redneck, these white folks, not only are is the expectation that they cannot dress well, but they also cannot speak well as well. Um, the fact of the matter is these white folks are very illiterate. They mention things such as y'all. I'm sorry, y'all instead of you guys. Um, they are not necessarily the uh they're not necessarily the brightest people to say things such as, let me give you an example right here. Um these are the people that will mention the names such as y'all heels, hayseeds, um and such and so forth and so forth. I mean, you get the point. I know that this is probably not giving good examples, but you get the point of someone that speaks uneducated. These are the lowest of the low of the totem pole, and no one has ever, everyone always identifies these type of white people as rednecks. Even the upper class and middle and working class white people tend to look down on these people as well. But what about the blacks? Is there such thing as black rednecks? Well, let's see, because black people, just like the white people, can also be um unsophisticated, crass, lacking sensitivity and intelligence. I mean, think about it. White black people embrace the language of Ebonics. And why is that? Because Ebonics is another form of being a redneck. Ebonics is not of the norm of the culture of America. In fact, it is a subculture of the non-educated. It is non-standard English, non-standard Negro English, as it was labeled back in 1973. but the scholars didn't like the fact, or at least the black scholars didn't like the fact that it was named um, non-standard Negro language. They wanted it to be a part of the black language, even though it contains things such as you, y'all, um, y'all know how they be, uh, y'all y'all know how we do this, and such and so forth and so forth. I mean, it's the type of language that most Americans who invest in proper English spoken by Americans cannot communicate with. But I don't think I gave this the proper introduction. Now where does the redneck idea come from? Um why would we consider black people black rednecks? Well, it's pretty simple. There now there's a video there's a video that's out that was made by the Hoover Institute, who interviewed Thomas Sowell, um, an intelligent black scholar who wrote a book about black rednecks and white liberals. And if you ever get a chance to read if you ever get a chance to get the book, please get the book, and read it, because it will give you an insight on black culture from from when from when it was from when the blacks behaved as model citizens to the way the blacks are today. Very profound. But Thomas Sowell also made he also made a profound statement or- about black rednecks, and it was something that was never even spoken about before. But Thomas Sowell, and unfortunately, before I go in and explain this, I unfortunately I'm not able uh to view the clip on my live stream, because I really don't want to get my channel. I mean, I don't want to receive a strike on my channel. However, I did leave the link in the description section. So if you ever get a chance, click on the link and you'll be able to watch the video yourself. But Thomas Sowell um, was describing a story in which after World War II, black soldiers and white soldiers settled in Germany, and they wind up having children with German women. And what they noticed was that the IQ of the white person and the IQ of the black person remained the same. There was no difference between um, the IQ of the white children and the IQ of the black children. And obviously, people want to know, well, how can that be? Well, in Germany at that time, there weren't there wasn't any subculture that affected um, that affected the um, the actions of the white person or of the black person. And what is subculture? Well, subculture is a culture within a culture whose ideas and beliefs are usually different from the culture, from that culture abroad. Meaning it is another subset of a culture group, whether it be the hippie culture or the hip hop culture, or or any radical culture. And these people, and because there was no subculture, that didn't affect the way that these people were able to act. So, because of that, that's the reason why the IQ of the black person and the IQ of the black children and IQ of the white child did not change. So, what does that mean? Well, unlike in America, in Germany, there wasn't any subculture that existed that was counterproductive to the culture that was already standing within that country. And so that's the reason why you didn't see a drop in the IQ. Whereas in the United States of America, hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna come back here. Okay. Whereas, oh, and I'm going to leave the invite button. Sorry about that. Here we are. Okay. Whereas whereas in the United States of America, um you have a significant amount of subcultures that can come in and influence the people of that specific culture, and it can be counterproductive to what the culture has for these people. All right. What does this all mean? So subcultures such as radicalism, like radical groups, all right, Marxist groups, when that type of subculture starts to infiltrate a specific community, now that community winds up becoming a prisoner of that very culture and gets away from what the main culture was to teach them and raise them on. So prior to the Civil Rights Act being signed in 1964, black people um black people did two things. Um they 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 cherished education, and they also cherished being US citizens. That was the main thing that helped the black community. That was one of the things that made black people go to college, um, build businesses, be productive at the jobs, get married, and they were living their lives. It wasn't until the '60s came and the radicalism of these anti-American groups, such as the Black Panthers, the National Organization of Women, and so on. That's what dumbed down, or that's what allowed the blacks to take on beliefs that were counterproductive to their to their way of living. Thus, black people um, took on the belief of being dumb. All right, and that's the reason why you have black rednecks, black rednecks who believe that Ebonics is the language of the blacks. And the only reason why they would believe that is because they've been brainwashed by black leaders that they need to disassociate themselves from America and start implementing ideas that are more authentic to their subgroup, meaning that black people needed to look black, act black, and think black. Do not think like do not think or speak like the typical Americans, but they need to think and speak like a black person. It's almost as if they were creating their own identity that was that was contrast from American culture. And black people, for the most part, embrace this idea that at one time where they went in and they cherished education to now believing that they didn't have to because they had a system in which the white liberals also took part in which black people should be dependent on the government giving them things as opposed to the black people working for it. And in the educational system, the white liberals believe that black people should be put in a system where they should be allowed to move on without actually having to prove that they were sufficient in basic math, science, English, and arithmetic. This is the culture of the blacks today, and it has ruined the blacks. And hence, now you have black people who can't speak English. And this is what you're getting. This is exactly what it is you're getting. So, in a sense, is there improvement for the blacks? Can they come back from this? Well, if you're looking, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm going to take a quick intermediate break. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, guys, welcome back. Um, so like I was explaining before, um, black rednecks are no different from white rednecks. It is a culture. It is a rock culture that is different from the norm. Now, the blacks want to make it look as if it's their own culture, but truly it's the culture of the retarded. and black people have accepted the culture of the retarded. Black people have accepted the culture of failure. Black people have accepted the culture of stupidity. That is black culture. Whether you like it or not, that is black culture. And as long as the blacks continue to think in this manner, then this will be forever remembered as black culture. And it's something that needs to be that needs to be acknowledged. We need to start to delineate the very things that are considered aberrant in the black culture, which is a part of American culture. I know there are blacks that believe that they are not Americans, even though they were born in America. They have birth certificates that prove that they were born within the states, along with a social security card. Black Anything that is a part of black culture is a part of American culture. And it's something that needs to be called out if the blacks are doing things that are counterproductive to the American culture. Blacks need to start embracing the American culture that was founded by founding fathers. Because if they do not, then what they're going to wind up doing is attacking it, meaning that they're going to attack we the people, and we don't need the blacks attacking us. But black redneck, what is a black redneck? A black How do you know that you are a black redneck? Well, simple. You know you are a black redneck when you refer to yourself or to other people as the N word. When you come up and you are greeting other people as the N word, for instance, when you come up and you're saying to a person, "Hey, word up, my N word. What's going on, my N word? Oh, this is my N word P or my N word Pookie or whatever." All right. That's how you know that you are a black redneck. You also know you are a black redneck when you walk around with your pants sagging from your behind. That is black redneck culture. That is not the norm of the culture of America. Instead, that is the subculture of criminal the street criminal um, aspect of society. You know that you are a black redneck if you are a woman and you are wearing somebody else's hair. You know you're a black redneck if you're a black female and you have nails that are greater than 6 inches. You know you are a black redneck if you are female and you're wearing biker shorts that are equipped as lingerie underwear. You know you are a black redneck. You know you are a black redneck when you believe that dreads are a part of your strength and you refuse to cut your dreads in order for you to compete in corporate America. You know you are a black redneck when you come to the interview with your with your hood sweater, a pair of jeans, and a pair of pants, trying to apply for a corporate entry level position. You know you are a black redneck when you state things such as y'all, how y'all, what y'all, you know how they be, and a whole bunch of other black words that have nothing to do with the language of the English and the language of the Americans. These are all a part of black rednecks. So if you are engaged in any of this, you are considered a black redneck. Amazing. So that's what I have for tonight. Wish you guys well. And for the rest of you, um, I will have more next week when I speak about marriage. And trust me, you're going to want to tune in for that. So with that being said, this is the conservative. Signing out. Have a blessed day, guys. Amazing.